Hi everyone, welcome back to Fall for the Wall Friday. My name is Kate and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that's a bit different. I'm going to be teaching you guys about the different kinds of boards that you will find in gyms, because sometimes those can be a little bit intimidating for beginners because they seem too advanced. So I'm going to break those down and explain why they are for beginners and why they're not scary. First off, we have three main kinds of boards that are pretty much standard. And you'll usually find one of these three at most gyms. So the three are the kilter board, the moon board, and the tension board. Now, they all look somewhat similar and seem somewhat similar, but there are kind of nuanced differences between the three that I'm gonna explain. The first one I'm going to talk about is the one that I'm the least familiar with, because it's the only one that the gym I regularly go to, Tufas, doesn't have. So that's a moon board. A moon board is different than a tension and a kilter board, mostly because it is at a set angle. You're either going to find it at a 25-degree angle or a 40-degree angle. The one you'll find in the city at the cliffs is going to be at a 40-degree angle. Whereas with the tension board and the kilter board, you can usually adjust the angle. So that's the biggest difference. The holds on the moon board are plastic. This was also the first standardized board that was really widespread. So it is the most widespread of the three. You're gonna find it in Europe, you're gonna find it in America, you're gonna find it in Asia, you're gonna find a moon board pretty much everywhere. Because of that, there are thousands upon thousands of problems that are set on the moon board. The one at the cliffs doesn't have any problems below V3 though. I don't know if that's a standard thing or not. So it can be kind of hard. The moon board is definitely more on the harder side as opposed to the kilter or the tension. So I would definitely recommend going for the kilter or the tension if you possibly can, because they do offer lower grades and you can make the angle a lot less steep than 40 degrees. The moon board also is the only one that has multicolored holds, so it looks a bit prettier. And the lights are going to be under the holds, and they're going to light up under the holds. The next one I'm going to talk about is one that I'm a bit more familiar with because we have it at Tufas. It's the tension board. So the tension and the kilter board are the most similar because they are normally set on hydraulics, which basically means you can adjust the angle to pretty much whatever you want. I think the least steep you can have it is like 10 degrees, and like the most, I don't even know what the most is. It's too hard for me, but you can make it really steep. So the tension board is going to have wooden holds. It's the only one that has wooden holds. And they all have little T's on them, so you can tell it's the tension board and not the kilter board because all the holes have a little T on them. Additionally, the tension board is symmetrical. Symmetrical, that's the word. It's symmetrical. So right down the middle, one side gonna be facing this way, the other side is gonna be facing this way, and then you can flip. So with the tension board, you can actually flip the problems. So you can do them on both sides because it's symmetrical. That's kind of what sets that one apart from the kilter board. And the tension board has the lights, like the moon board, underneath all the holes that light up. The last one I'm going to talk about, and my personal favorite, the love of my life, the kilter board. Anybody who knows me knows I would die for the kilter board. It is my baby. I was introduced to it 2 summers ago by one of my good friends at Drexel, who's an incredibly strong climber, and I have never looked back. So the kilter board, you can find it at Tufas. That's the only gym in the city that has one. It has plastic holds, and the thing with the kilter board is, this is why I love it, that the lights on the kilter board go all the way around the holds, as opposed to the moon board and the tension board, where the lights are under the holds, it goes all the way around the holds, so you have a lot less trouble seeing your footholds at a steeper angle. It just makes it so much easier to actually figure out where you can put your feet when you're in the middle of trying to do a problem in like only a couple goes. You don't exactly have where the feet are memorized. And it just makes for a nicer experience in my opinion. Plus the wooden holds on the tension board, especially the crimps, tend to really hurt my fingers, my finger skin that is, whereas the holds on the kilter board just don't really hurt me at all that much. Maybe it's because I'm so used to them. But that is basically the difference between the kilter board and the tension board and the moon board. So what makes these boards not scary for beginners and actually accessible? First of all, especially with the tension and the kilter board, you can adjust the angle. So you don't have to have it super steep. You can make it as shallow as you want it, throw on a V0, throw on a V1, and you'll probably be able to get up. Even though the grading on all 3 of these boards is typically a bit harder and more akin to outdoor grading than gym grading, so especially compared to a PRG grading scale. Speaking of PRG, their tension board is fixed at 30, which is different than the one at Cliffs and Tufa's. Point. Anywho, plus there are so many problems that you can try. Tens of thousands of problems, especially between all the 3. There's bound to be something that you can find there that you'll be able to do and you'll be able to try. Plus, these boards are incredible for training. That's what I use it for, why I love my Kilter board so much. It has made me the powerful, strong boulder that I am. Without it, I don't think I would have like half the strength that I have now. Because you putting it down lower, great steepness, so like I normally do it at 40 degrees. Hitting that 40 degrees is super great power training because you're just wailing away at these holds because on that steeper angle, but you can set it to a V0, V1 and keep doing things and keep trying. Plus, it's also really great for training endurance because you can just flip through the problems and just go, go, go. A couple summers ago with one of my friends, we had an endurance course that we would do where we would just put it down a couple grades from what we can normally send. And then you would do the problem, the other person would flip it to the next one, you do the problem 5 times, repeat 3 times. And it was super great endurance, power endurance specifically training. So these boards are so great for training and just for having fun. You get to try these problems that people all over the world have set. And it's so freaking cool to be able to try things from other setters in Asia, in Europe, from Australia even probably. It's so cool and it's such a great opportunity to just try different things and have more exposure to different styles. So even if you are a beginner, even if you have never touched a board in your life, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing time, it's so much fun. So that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's Fall for the Wall Friday, and we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.